Hey guys, this is gonna be my final thoughts and opinions of the Saints Row reboot before release. I just want to say right off the top, if you are a die-hard reboot fan, this video isn't for you. You probably just want to click off, dislike, whatever. I'm not going to be positive. I'm gonna be critiquing like pretty much everything I've seen. One of the first things I would like to address is the criticism of this game, and that is woke. And that's a blanket statement for one. First off, initially it wasn't, but it is now. The internet version or mainstream version, whatever, is a blanket statement that pretty much just expands to anything that's representative or pandering or politically correct. So it's kind of just like a big, large blanket statement. I don't like to use it. I'm gonna go ahead and just explicitly state what I believe most of the hardcore original fans like most of our problems with this reboot. And to start off, I would say the overall tone and direction. They built and sold this game to us initially as being somewhere in between Saints Row 2 and 3. And that's not the case, because even though like most people, most of the diehard fans did not like 3, I'm willing to admit it was a lot more grounded than 4. And something between 2 and 3 actually sounds like a sweet spot for the series. Like, I feel like that would actually have been a very smart place to start with another title going forward. But that's not what we got. If I could be truthful, if I'm being like brutally honest, I feel like what we've seen so far is more so 4 on Earth. It's the tone of 4, but just on Earth, and that's something that a lot of the original fans didn't like. I know people that like 3 that didn't like 4. Like perfect example, one of my good friends, I got him into playing the series recently. I think it was a little bit before the remaster of the third came out, and after he finished the third, I asked him was he gonna play 4. He told me hell no. He said it was the 3 was it for him, and he told me like most other fans, and this you gotta think about it. This guy started like he started playing the series in like what 2017, like 2017 or something. That's when he started like playing all of them. And he told me his favorite one was 2. I believe it was 1 or 2. The point being was he didn't want to go any further. He said 3 was the worst. He said he thought everyone he played 3 was the worst, and he had no desire to play 4. And that's where a lot of us are at. This is where like a lot of the OG fans are. And to see that the reboot is basically the same tone and direction as 4 just on Earth is pretty disheartening and pretty aggravating. All right, well, I'm gonna move off tone and move over to another aspect that the original fans are disappointed with the reboot, and that is fashion. I have not seen anything I would wear or I would think that the older Saints would wear from any of the trailers. Everything just seems wacky and over the top. And it reminds me more of 3. It reminds me more of an expanded 3's clothing wardrobe, just with more wacky, stupid shit and nothing. Basically, nothing urban, no types of streetwear, just more more stuff from Let's Pretend is the best way to describe it. And it's like I don't think any of the original fans wanted that. It's like there's nothing to really remind you that this is a street game about gangs. It's like you just don't see that from any of the trailers, any of the customization videos. Everything's just wild, over the top, stupid stuff. Like, hey, you can make yourself look like an orc. That doesn't do anything for me. If I want to look like an orc, I'll play Skyrim. You know what I mean? It's like if I want to look like a elf or something, I will play something that has elves in it. I don't want to have that in this type of game, and that's generally where most of us fans are at. They're not showing us anything from 2 also. That's my biggest gripe. 2 Saints Row 2 is my favorite game. And here's the thing, you can't you can think whatever you want, you can buy the game like I said in the beginning of the video. I really don't care if you're a fan of the video, but you can't lie to me and tell me, "Hey, this is going to be like your favorite game," and then have nothing from my favorite game and expect me to buy it and then expect me not to be upset. The biggest issue here is they're marketing this game to everyone. Like they're using the Saints Row title because they want older fans. They want everybody that likes Saints Row to buy this game. In their ideal world, they sell as many copies by selling this to everybody that likes Saints Row. The problem with that is this is nothing like the first 2 titles, and they're telling people it's like the second title, and we've seen nothing from that. Another issue that longtime fans have is the fact that the new Saints are comparable to Watch Dogs 2's DedSec, and it's like that should never be a thing. They should never be compared for the simple fact that DedSec is hacker nerds, self-proclaimed hacker nerds, and these guys are supposed to be a street gang. They're supposed to be lieutenants of a street gang. And I mean, you look at the comparisons from all the other lieutenants to now, and it's night and day. It just looks bad and it looks stupid. And truth be told, in my opinion, DedSec looks more gangster than the current Saints, and that's a massive problem. It's a laughable problem. And the thing that's hilarious to me is how gamers move the goalposts depending on how they feel about a title or a company or whatever. Because there's a lot of people that are gonna like say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't care. Gameplay matters. Only gameplay matters." But then these same people, you look at their past and they've spazzed out over smaller things. The perfect thing that comes to mind for me though is Infamous 2. The initial Cole from Infamous 2 did not look like anything like the Cole from the first game. Now, if only gameplay matters, then the game just would have released and no one would have cared, but that's not the case. People went crazy. They told what was it? Sucker Punch. They told Sucker Punch, "We want it changed back, blah 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 blah. We hate how he looks, blah 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 blah." And Sucker Punch did that. They ultimately changed Cole back. And this is the thing. It matters. It always matters. People want to talk about immersion in one breath, and then the next they say only thing that matters is gameplay. But then they're buying cosmetics. They're, you know what I mean? They want their character to look a certain way. They won't buy a game if so and so is not the main character. And see, I have a saying, and it's everything is fine. Any change is fine as long as it's not my favorite game. And that's what most gamers are like. They'll get out here and like they'll get behind the developer or publisher and just like dick ride and like, you know, cheer them on for a game they don't even really care about. Like that's what a lot of these pro reboot people are. They don't even give a shit about Saints Row. They just want to be against this. That's the whole thing. They see a whole bunch of people against it. Oh, I'm for it then. And that's the whole mindset behind it. And this is, and what's sad is gamers are shitty people. Like a lot of us are shitty people. This happens quite a bit. This is generally how it goes. This is the ebb and flow of gaming. Because there's a lot of people that will like celebrate and, you know, parade around a change or something going on for one franchise, but then they'll throw a hissy fit over another change for their other franchise that they actually care about. Like, you can do whatever to Master Chief, but if you touch Mario, you're an asshole. It's that type of thing. It's like everybody has their own little game that they want to be done a certain way, but everything else is fine. Everything else is subject to change. You need to mature until it's my game. Okay guys, I'm going to try to wrap this up because I don't want the video to be too long, but the last thing I'm going to talk about here is gameplay. And as you see from the gameplay of the remastered footage here, I've been roaming around my gang like this entire time. They haven't shown anything like that. Like, I would like to see a full mission, or what does it looks like to recruit Saints now, or like, do you still pour 40s on your homies when they get down? I want to see that. You just pick them up like the third. Like, what is it? What does it look like? They have to actually show me something. Like, everybody keeps talking about gameplay from the reboot when they've only shown little bits and pieces. They haven't really shown anything. I don't know. I have no idea what mission structure's like. I don't know if they're fun or boring. I don't know how it's gonna play, truth be told. But from what they've shown, I don't think the people that are pro reboot can tell you either. Because, I mean, we've only seen pieces of a mission. We've seen, like, you know, the little bumper car shit to where, like, you could, you know, bump a car and make it explode. We've seen all the health bars, a little bit of the shooting, but we haven't seen anything as far as a whole mission or entire activity. And I'm be honest, from what we have seen, it looked average to mediocre. It looked like nothing special. If you slap a Ubisoft title on it, I think everybody will be a lot more critical. If you just went back and, like, changed the name and put a Ubisoft title on it and like pretty much just separated it from all this controversy with the fans, I feel like everybody would be like, gamers would just unify and be against it. They say it looked like shit and we move on. But since it is what it is, you have two opposing sides now. Anyway, that's my last, you know, that's the last thing I wanted to say. It's my last opinion on the whole thing. I don't know if the game is going to be good or not as far as critics go. I feel like most of the fans know it's not for us. Like, and it doesn't matter. Like, at this point, it doesn't matter. Like, it can be, you know, enjoyable for the Fortnite audience, but that doesn't mean anything because there's a lot of people that don't play Fortnite. And I guess that's pretty much my closing argument. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, whatever. Dislike if you don't like it, whatever. Leave a comment. I'll respond to comments eventually. The keyword eventually. Thanks for watching.